A pleasant morning or afternoon to you all. I am Pia Eunice Diaz and I will be reporting with Winzen Yurilanticho and Osong Gakan. I will briefly introduce the research while Winzen will explain what the study is about and Gino will explain why are we conducting it.
The topic we will be tackling today is regarding the offshore students attending in Philippine online classes during the pandemic.
We will be conducting a research that is in the form of phenomenology, which tackles the person's thoughts, insights, and perceptions of a particular phenomenon.
So, why are we conducting this research? Well, to know more about the students' new lifestyle and their experience. We're also conducting this research to know how the student approaches this situation and what his or her perspective is going into a Filipino school online. And of course, we need to know how they adapt to their new environment.
Today, we've gathered two groups of participants. The first group are the students who wake up at 2-3 a.m. to attend a 7 a.m. classes in the Philippines, while the second group are the group of students who wake up to 6 to 7 a.m. to attend a 1 p.m. classes in the Philippines. Let's interview them.
Are you able to comprehend the lessons and activities during the online class? And does the schedule of the online classes affect your body clock and sleep cycle?
As a student who wakes up at 2 a.m., it's very complicated and difficult for me in the beginning because I have to adjust my body clock and sleeping cycle in order for me to cope up with the lessons and activities. But with consistency, I'm now able to comprehend with the lesson and activities and adapt the new lifestyle.
So for the question, am I able to comprehend lessons and activities during online class? Um, I find it very difficult to listen and to pay attention to classes and to answer my assessments, due to the fact that I wake up early in the morning, like 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning, and I feel very tired and hazy whenever I do so. So does the schedule of online classes affect my sleep cycle or body clock? Um, it's because waking up early in the morning with your body not being able to adjust or to fully adjust to the change will make you very tired and sometimes fatigued. So yes, it affects my body. It affects my body clock and sleeping schedule in a negative way.
In class, I could grasp the majority of the lessons that the teachers are giving to us, because most of them explain loud and clearly to the class. Does the schedule of the class timings affect my sleep schedule? Yes, it does. Because when I used to study in schools here in UAE, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. But now that I'm in FEU AM class, I have to wake up at 3 a.m., which is way different from what I'm used to.
Uh, I could I could sometimes couldn't comprehend the activities and lessons during classes since I woke up early in the morning and my bodily clock is different. It's more folk since I wake up mostly later than 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. instead. So yeah, I'm not able to comprehend uh, the lessons and I can't focus enough since I'm too tired to do the schoolwork and listen.
Do you find yourself more distracted during the online classes?
Well, sometimes I do find myself distracted because I have to stay awake throughout the middle of the night until the morning. I have to stay awake or I have to do something that will keep me awake, like listening to music. Well, listening to music can be my distraction because instead of listening to the teacher, I'm just listening to the music. But I'm willing to change that habit. I'm willing to change that because in order for me to be focused in my online class, I have to eliminate that habit or I have to eliminate that distraction.
So for the second question, do you find yourself more distracted during online classes? Regarding to my previous answer, waking up 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning can be very draining and tiring. And for me to stay attentive and to listen to my classes, I have to do something in order to keep myself from sleeping. And that very action to keep myself awake is the very thing that distracts me during online classes.
I frequently get distracted in class just because I don't get enough sleep.
During online classes, I am more distracted since, yeah, I am more tired uh, than any other person because the classes are early in the morning. But for other people, it could be like in the afternoon. So yeah, my ability to focus on the lessons and activities and classes on session, it's affected heavily by the sleep schedule I'm on since I can't adapt to it. So that is all.
How are you able to interact with your classmates during these online classes? Is it easier than face to face?
Well, I guess thanks to some, applications like Google Meet and Microsoft Teams, it was easier for me to interact with them because I was at home, at my own comfort. But still, I would prefer face to face over than remote learning.
When it comes to communicating with my classmates, I wouldn't say that online class is so much easier than face to face. Although it's fun meeting new people from far away, it's really difficult for me to communicate with them when it comes to mobile data since there's only so much you can do with mobile data. So the main way that I would interact with my classmates is through Messenger since it's so practical when it comes to trying to have a conversation with them. It's so much easier for me to send texts and messages, and it's so much easier for me to receive feedback from those messages.
How were you able to interact with people with online classes? Mm, I can interact with them through the use of the internet, through video calls and chats, using gadgets that can connect to the internet. Is it easier than face to face classes? Well, for me, it is. Why? Because there are plenty of resources that you can use, like the internet, that we don't use in face to face classes. The use of the internet is a blessing for us to use to search for things that you don't quite understand and learn from them. We can broaden our scope of knowledge with the use of the internet.
People on online class is a lot easier than face to face because in social we have social media when doing it. Then in face to face, we literally have to communicate like in a verbal way, and I have social anxiety, so yeah, it's really hard to communicate face to face.
And also, how are you able to deal with your mental health during this pandemic?
Well, it was hard because, I was forced to stay at home with my thoughts and emotions. But I guess, it's been a long time since the pandemic started, so I guess I just adjusted to how things work now, and I'm much better than before.
I think I think the main way I would cope with my mental health is through distracting myself and making the most of my free time. I do this by playing games, I guess, and interacting with my classmates and interacting with my friends and enjoying their company. Um, Especially my family, I would enjoy my family's company. It's really hard to get through these times, especially through pandemic.
Well, Well, during this pandemic, I was able to spend more time with my family, and this has helped me to cope up with my mental health. And during this pandemic, I didn't really have much to worry about since I couldn't go anyways. I used that time, just to rest.
My mental health, due to my schedule, I could do what I want as soon as I finish with my task. Then mostly skateboarding because it's really fun. It makes me happy even though I crash sometimes, and it's like free therapy for me. And that is all. It keeps my mental health in check.
We can conclude that our participants shared a lot of information regarding their lifestyle as offshore students attending Philippine online school during the pandemic. Attending online classes while in a different country may seem hard for them, but they showed us that they could adjust to the situation to have an excellent education.